Лекциите са 3. Се надявам да лекат във времето, което сме определили, да не ви бавиме, защото значи някои колеги имат и мачове, които трябва да циган следобед. Почистите се разбираме след първата лекция, след втората. Вие ще определите дали по 5 или по 10 или по 15 минути. Според вас ще се съобразяваме. Първата тема е на треньор от Байерн Мюнхен. Всички сте прочели програмата. Ще го дам на него да се представи. И много ви моля, след като приключи първата тема, да задавате въпроси. Това, което ви вълнува най-вече. Тези, които имат командировъчни, не са подпечатани, да ви се обавят и да печатат.
Alright, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for having me and for having us here in Sofia. Can you give me a little sign if you understand me good? Does it sound okay?
Представи се и се ви поздрави и се радва, че ето в София.
Okay, I want to start off with thanking БУБА Basketball and Manuel and Vladimir for helping us and for inviting us to this wonderful tournament. It's a great pleasure for us to be here and we're very, very thankful for that.
Благодаря на БУБА Баскетбол и на Марко за това, че се поканили тук на турнира и че смятат, че това е една прекрасна възможност за тях да участват тук и са благодарни за това нещо.
My name is Florian Vedel. I'm a 27-year-old basketball coach from Germany. I've been with Bayern Munich for 7 years now. It's my 7th season. Right now, 2nd year as an under-16 head coach. And I've worked mainly with under-14 teams over the last couple of years in Bayern Munich.
Казва се Флориан Ведел, на 27 години, работи в Байерн Мюнхен, като основно е работил с 14 годишни, но вече и с по-големи, които са сега 16 годишните момчета.
So these guys that you see over there, this is our under-16 team. They are mixed 2003 and 2004.
Това са момчета 2003-2004 година, отборен за кадети.
And them and myself, we are really happy to be here and to show you some of our ideas about the spacing and the pick and roll today.
Днес ще ви покажа неговите идеи, това, което те работят на pick and roll и spacing в нападение. Това, което те работят в техния клуб.
Okay, so the main idea today is to show you basically what we do in everyday practice. So we have this under-16 team who's practicing 4 times a week, plus 3 individual practices for some players that go to a sports school.
Значи ще ви покажа това начинът, по който те тренират ежедневно в Байерн Мюнхен и това, което играчите тренират 4 пъти в седмицата заедно и 3 пъти тренират индивидуално, в зависимост от това кой е в спортно училище, кой е в друго училище.
And we're gonna try to give you a good picture of what we do to teach our players spacing and pick and roll within the next hour. If there's any questions at all, you will have some time after the clinic, so please feel free to ask whatever you want at the end of our session.
Отново каза, че ще ви запозная с упражнения за спейсинг и пик н рол, които те правят ежедневно и ако имате въпроси към него, след края на лекцията може спокойно да ги задавате, няма никакви проблеми.
Just a little fact about the EuroLeague today, EuroLeague basketball. The pick and roll right now is at about 43% usage, so that 43% of all half-court possessions are ended in a pick and roll today's EuroLeague.
В днешно време в Евролигата 43% от нападенията, на постепенните нападения са pick and roll ситуации. Това, което казах.
Which is a crazy number if you think about the fact that just 10 years ago this number was at 24%. So we're talking 24% 10 years ago to 43% pick and roll right now in the EuroLeague.
Преди 10 години този процент е бил 24% и за тези 10 години се е увеличил двойно на броя на нападенията, които са свързани с pick and roll на половини игрище.
This is why we think that obviously pick and roll is a huge part of basketball today and we have to teach the kids how to play the pick and roll.
Това е общо взето една от най-големите части, които се използват в баскетбол в нападение и съответно е изключително важно да бъдат научени играчите как да играят pick and roll.
Now at Bayern Munich, we believe that it's really important to think about the fact when, at what point in the careers of players do we start to teach the pick and roll. So do we start at under 14? Do we start at under 16? What's the right timing to start?
Те в Байерн Мюнхен обсъждат за това кога е най-подходящо да започнат да учат играчите си на пик н рол, дали да почнат още на 14 години или на 16.
We have found that for us, the right time is to start within the under 16 area. So right now, with these guys, we just started playing the pick and roll about 1.5 months ago.
Те смятат, че най-добре за тях, за техните играчи да стартират с пик н рол обучението на 16 годишна възраст. И тези момчета, които сега ще видите, са тренирали общо взето пик н рол няколко месеца. От няколко месеца тренират само пик н рол.
So let's jump right into it. The first group comes on. We're going to go for a simple pick and roll situation, just to talk about some simple basics that are important to us.
Ще кажа някои основни правила, които са важни за тях с първата група момчета.
So we're going to take this simple high pick and roll situation with the big guy coming up. And just to talk about this situation, what happens here? First of all, I think the pick and roll has so many different facets, aspects that are important. The first one being that we have a one-on-one situation on top of the key. So he has to be able to beat his man one-on-one, to be a danger in the pick and roll situation.
Първото, има толкова много ситуации, които може да използват на един пик н рол. Първото нещо, което те изискват, е играч с топка да има възможност да надиграе едно на едно своя защитник в обратната страна на заслона.
Okay, so the next step is whenever he uses the screen, what we want him to do is we want him to be really close, like shoulder to hip. Be low when you're attacking, be low when you're attacking, shoulder to the hip, attack the man, and now you have a one-on-one situation against the big guy.
Второто нещо е да използва заслона, да мине много близко до човека, който го поставя заслон, да бъде ниско долу и да атакува високия играч, който трябва да го спре. И отново се създава ситуация за едно на едно, този път срещу защитника на високия човек.
It's important for us to stress this because, in essence, pick and roll in the first place is one-on-one. It's beating your guy one-on-one or being in danger to do that, and then being able to beat a big guy one-on-one. If you're not able to beat the big guy one-on-one, the pick and roll is not going to lead to anything.
Значи при всички положения първата им опция е игра на едно, било срещу собствения защитник или срещу защитника на високия човек. И много важно нещо, на което настояват, е да бъдат агресивни и да се опитват да играят едно на едно.
Okay, so the next part is, if he's able to beat this guy is going to be afraid of him beating. So he's going to drop back a little bit, he's going to try to defend this situation when talking about this flat defense right here. So this leaves us with a short advantage, so like a really small 2-on-1 advantage that those two guys have to be able to find a solution within maybe 1 second.
В момента, в който гарда започне да се надиграва едно срещу високия човек, неговата идея, за да не бъде минат, високия човек отстъпва. Той показва ситуация на така наречената флат защита на пик н рол. И в този момент искат в рамките на 1 секунда да създадат предимство, в което гарда и центъра да могат да направят двама на един ситуация и съответно един от тях да остане сам.
So first step is one-on-one, playing one-on-one. Second step is that we need passing skills to find a solution in the pick and roll. So we need to be able to pass the ball here to the big guy, or if he comes up, we need to be able to pass the ball as a skip pass to the other wing. So those two are both extremely difficult passes, like passing technique that we need to work on. And it's also about the spacing of this guy over there, being able to read at what point in time does he have to lift up to be open.
След първите опции, които са ситуация едно на едно, вторите им опции са да намерят правилния пас, като имат две опции. Едната е веднага да се подаде топката на високия човек, който отива към коша, и втората опция е да намерят паса в слаба страна, като съответно той обясни, че трябва да се научат индивидуално играчите как да подават и двата паса и да се научат да четат защитата хората от слаба страна, кога да се качват нагоре, за да получат топката.
So pick and roll in the end leads to one-on-one, passing decisions, advantage, and spacing on the weak side. And because there are so many aspects to the pick and roll, at Bayern Munich we believe that it's good to take some time and start a little late with teaching the pick and roll eventually. This is why we start at under 16, because we believe these players need to learn how to play one-on-one. They need to learn how to find solutions in 2-on-1, 3-on-2 advantages. And also, we need to teach them how to space the floor, how to react to their defender moving.
Значи каза, че са взели решение да играят на 16 години пик н рол, не преди това, защото пик н рол е много разнообразно нападение и когато играчите в момента трябва да са научили преди това, още на предната възраст, да се надиграват 1-1, да се надиграват при числено превъзходство при 2-1, при 3-2 ситуации, а сега вече трябва да се съобразяват и с тактически решения на типа на спейсинг от слаба страна и решения на пик н рол. Това са решили по-късен етап да започнат да обучават играчите.
Bayern, komm hin. Bisschen näher. Was du hier 2 Gänse? Jana dahinter, 2 Bälle wäre zu dem Ball. Okay. So, before we go to how we actually practice the pick and roll, we want to show you some things that we teach them before we practice the pick and roll, because this is the biggest part of what we do.
Сега ще покажа упражнение, което правят преди да започнат да обучават играчите на pick and roll ситуация.
Okay, so this is a simple drill that we use for reading the advantage, basically, and making a decision, shot or extra pass to your open teammate. So we got these 2 guys playing 2-on-1 against him. He's going to pass the ball out to one of those 2 players, and those guys can either shoot the ball directly or can play 1 pass. But they only have 1 shot and 1 pass.
Това е упражнение, с което те ще тренират взимането на решения в нападение. Играят 2 нападатели с 1 защитник, като защитника подава топката на един от тях и започва да пази. И нападателите имат 2 опции. Стрелят или подават на другия съответно.
Okay, let's go. Next guy comes in, let's go. Wait. Let's make a take. When they make the shot, both of them can stay on offense for the next time. Alright, bravo. Let's go. Hop. Pass out, goes out. Quick decisions on offense. So shot or pass the ball. We want to keep the spacing, we don't want to go too far out. Stop that right here.
Играчите трябва да са по-близо един до друг, да държат правилен спейсинг в нападение и да взимат решение дали веднага да стрелят или да дадат екстра пас.
Go. Shot or pass. Shot or pass, buddy. Don't worry about it. No problem. Good. Wow. Okay. Up, quick, next one. Pass out. Extra pass. Wow. Okay. Next one. Step right in. Okay. Good. Okay. Stop. So what's important now is that the guy that catches the ball, he thinks shot at first. This is going to become more important in the end of the session. We want our players to think to score right away. Every time they catch the ball, every time they play off of the ball, we want them to think to score.
Винаги играчите, като вземат топката, да са готови и да мислят за това, че те трябва да реализират. Трябва всеки един от тях да е готов веднага да стреля.
Right. So look at the basket when you catch the ball. You want to shoot the ball. You want to shoot the ball every time. Next guy comes in. Let's go. Quick, up. Next guy comes in. You want to shoot the ball. Good. Extra pass. Wow. Quick. Up. Nice. Okay, good pass. All right, stop. Now the next progression in this one is going to be that he passes the ball out. He has to take 1 dribble, and he could finish outside of the paint if he wanted to. So if he takes a pull-up jumper or a floater, that's fine. He has 1 dribble and 1 pass. Okay? 1 dribble, 1 pass. Du kannst nicht mehr dribbeln danach, du kannst nur werfen. Okay, let's go show us.
Следващата стъпка в упражнението е да дадат на човек, който получава първия пас един дрибъл, задължение да го направи този дрибъл. И отново има 2 опции. Дали да стреля веднага или да подаде на другия съответно.
Really attack your man. Goes out, attack him hard. Okay, see the open man. Now the idea is just to find the best possible shot. Okay, so if you're not open, you can pass the ball. This is really good what he did right there because he faked the pass, so his defender moved away. That's what we want him to do. So in these kind of drills, we want to teach the offense, of course, to make good decisions, but we also want to teach the defense defense, how to, for example, fake an action, like fake that you're playing a closeout against a bad shooter, but then go back to the good shooter and make sure that the right one is taking the shot.
В същото време обръща внимание на защитника, който трябва да преценява нападателите дали са добри стрелци или не и съответно да се опитва да ги финтира, че ще отиде близко до тях или пък ще остане по-далеч, рискувайки стрелба.
Okay, next progression, jeder hat ein Dribbling, okay? Jeder hat ein Dribbling und ihr habt ein Pass. Okay, next progression is just that we give them one more dribble, so the second guy, he can make a decision whether to shoot the ball right away or to attack the closeout with one dribble. Okay?
Сега добавя, че втория състезател също трябва да атакува с дрибъл. Тоест може да атакува и с дрибъл и трябва да преценява дали да стреля или да атакува по залата на защитника.
Now there's two options. What we do right now, keep it going. What we do right now is we don't give them the layup, we only give them the pull-up jump shot. Of course you can also give them the layup in these situations. We just like them to work on this decision.
Винаги може да добавите играчите да подбият до коша и да завършат, но те предпочитат в момента да се обучават на спиране и стрелба от средно разстояние. Или съответно пас на другия случай.
Alright, okay, stop. Next guy is coming in. 3 on 2. White's on offense. 3 guys outside. White is on offense. 1 guy is here. Tarek, you are outside. So on the wing. You are here. Wing, Flügel. Robin, du bist on top. Okay, good. Defense, Abraham has the ball. Abraham hat den Ball. Let's go, gib mir den Ball. Okay. Here. Right behind. Okay. So next progression is normally to play 3 on 2 in these situations. So what we're going to give them again is just passes and shots. Okay? No cuts. Keine Cuts erlaubt. Ihr dürft nur werfen oder passen. Okay? You got 2 passes to get an open shot. Okay?
Сега имаме следващата стъпка в това упражнение.
Zwei Pässe.
Играта има на двама, като играчите имат 2 паса за да стрелят. Нямат никакво движение на нападателите. Не трябва да пресичат. Имат единствено пас и стрелба. Може да стреляш още от първия път, а имат максимум 2 паса, които да решат кой да стрелят.
Next one. Come on. So what we can work on is right now taking decisions on shooting the ball, passing the ball, making passing fakes like he just did right there, and we can work on the defense, talking to each other.
Говори за това, че основното нещо на нападението е да се учат да вземат решения, а за защитата трябва да започнат да се комуникират, защото са чистено неравенство и те трябва да могат да говорят, за да се ориентират бързо как да спрат топката.
Okay, so we go to the next progression right away. Next progression is going to be that you guys get 1 dribble each. Okay, so whenever you get the ball, you can dribble 1 time. Okay, but you can play maximum 2 passes as a team. Maximum 2 passes as a team. Okay?
Всеки от тях може сега да атакува с един дрибъл, но максимум трябва с 2 паса да вземат решение и да стрелят.
Einmal dribbeln darfst du, wenn du den Ball hast. Okay? Let's go. Hopp.
Взето принципът е същия, както на предното нападение, което играеха 2 на 1. По същата прогресия върват.
Let's go. Quick. Next one. Stell den Ball rauspassen. Auf geht's. Ihr dürft attackieren, ihr dürft Korbleger machen, ja? Now with the 3 on 2 situations, we allow them to finish with the layup, okay? Ihr könnt Korbleger machen, ja, attackieren.
Сега вече разрешават да се завършва и с теб.
We only got 2 passes. Offense can only pass the ball 2 times. Not more. Let's go. Don't worry about it. White offense, red defense. We're going to play make it take. Good. Bravo, Tarek, good fake. Okay, Tarek, immer den extra Pass sehen. You gotta look for the extra pass, but sometimes it's a great decision to just fake it and attack. Wow, good job. Let's go. Make it take.
Финтове за подаване, с които да изложат защитата и да подават бързо топката, да имат екстра пас.
Okay, no worries. So So again, it's also about defense. You got to talk to each other. Two guys closing out on the same man is not going to be a good job.
Защитниците е важно да си говорят, да не се случват ситуации, двама защитници да тичат един и същи нападател.
Einen Pass hast du noch, Alter? Look at Robbie. Look at Robbie. See the extra pass. Look for the open man. Okay, another progression that you can obviously add is that you allow them to cut to the basket whenever you want them, like whenever they feel like it's a good decision. Okay?
Може да се добавят и пресечки, ако искате, с това се осложнява още повече нападението и съответно работата на защитниците.
Okay, red offense, 4 out, white defense, 3 defenders in.
Сега са 4 на 3, нападение защита.
Yeah, Chris, come in. Let's go, quick. Elbow, quick. Okay, next progression, 4 on 3. Okay, we're going to start real quick, 2 possessions with just passing and shooting the ball. Let's go, quick. Just passing and shooting. Find the open man, talk to each other, good. Okay, let's go, come on. Very good, talk to each other, close out, close out. Okay. This one, 4 on 3, is as good an offensive as a defensive drill. You can talk, you can work on communications.
Това упражнението е толкова полезно за нападението, колкото и за защитата. Постоянно имат ситуации на помощ, на клоузаут, да говорят постоянно.
Let's go, come on. Spacing, keep the spacing. Good. Open shot, wow. One dribble is allowed, one dribble per person. You can dribble the ball one time.
Много разрешаваме следващата стъпка, още по един дрибъл на всеки човек.
Quick, rotate. Jeder darf einmal dribbeln, wenn er den Ball hat, ja? Jeder darf einmal dribbeln. Weiter, aktiv verteidigen. Hey. Ivo, that's your guy, come on. Close out, Chris, good. Nice shot, wow. Good job. One dribble is allowed. You can finish at the basket. You can finish with the layup. Tackle. When you tackle, attack all the way. Yes, good job. Look for the open guy. It's a good way to attack. Whenever the help comes, look for the open guy. Okay. The last one that we do in this scenario is we give them one dribble at a time. Everybody can dribble one time. But after 2 passes, the 4th defender will come in, so it's a 4-on-4 situation. So they have to try to take advantage of the situation within the first 2 passes.
Следващата му стъпка от упражнението е, че започват 4 на 3. Всеки един нападател може да дриблира по един път, но след втория пас, четвъртия защитник също влиза в игра. Тоест нападението трябва много бързо да вземе решение да стреля топката, преди да е дошъл четвъртия защитник.
From this point, we open it up so offensive players can cut to the basket at any time.
В този момент вече нападателите могат да свобода и да пресичат и да се движат.
Make it, take it. Chris, nach dem zweiten Pass bist du drin, ja? Schnell rein. Good. Rebound, offense, red offense. Red is on offense. Space. Come on, basket, come on. Den 2 hast. Don't behind him. Last one. Last time. All right. So the reason why we really like to bring them in these kind of advantage situations is because we feel like it's a really big part of the game, and it's essentially what the pick and roll will lead to. The pick and roll leads to 2-on-1 situations, 3-on-2 situations, 4-on-3 situations, that you need to find a solution within seconds.
Използват тези решения, тези упражнения, за да могат да научат играчите си да взимат бързи решения, защото реално пик-н рол създава точно такива ситуации. 2 на 1, 3 на 2, 4 на 3 и те трябва много бързо да могат да вземат решение как да отиграят.
Also these kind of drills, when you play 4-on-3 for example, they really help the players understand how valuable a good cut from the weak side can be, that can easily lead to a layup.
Изключително важно за тях е в тези също упражнения да научат играчите си да пресичат от слабата страна, да четат когато няма защита срещу тях, да пресичат и да вкарват лесни кошове от коша.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. Benny on offense here, Yoni defense. You guys are going to start in the corner actually, I'm sorry about that. Maxwell is going to be down there. You're going to be on the wing, right? Exactly. It's 3-on-3 situations, so please take a seat. Okay. So Max, can you help us out, please? So the next progression is that we like to put them in situations to play 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 with smaller and shorter advantages. So now they have pretty big advantages because it was 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 all the way. So right now it's just a short situations, and we're going to present you 2 ways how we like to do it.
Сега ще играят 3 на 3, след малко 4 на 4, където също ще има някакво предимство за нападението, но то ще бъде по-малко. До сега бяха с човек повече, а сега са наравно, но ще има някакви предимства за нападението. Сега ще обясня.
Okay, let's go.
В момента могат да използват треньора, който да направи вид сезон и съответно ще бъде интересно.
Okay? Yes, but so what you will see now is we really like to play with fast break, with transition after every action. So what we wanted to do is all these drills, when we use them, with transition. Let's go guys, Step in, no basketball, next guys in. Okay, stop, wonderful. Just one transition, stay on this side please. Just stay on this side.
Играят 3 на 3 на един кош, имат предимство, защото използват треньора като помощен човек, а след това провеждат една бърза атака.
Okay, Dad, don't worry about it. Okay, stop that right there. Next guys in, take a quick break. Good cut. Way to find the space. Look out, find your teammate, good. Good cut, boss, okay. Good job.
Това беше пресечката, за която говориш от залата.
Okay. So, the next one we're going to do is, come in. Alec offense, Alban defense. And we're going to have Basti with the opponent right here in the corner. So 4-on-4 situation. Another way to create a short advantage that we use, okay, is just simply to be in this situation. You can use any spacing you want, and give them a short advantage like this for attacking, but without the offensive guy knowing if he gets the advantage to the middle or to the baseline.
Сега играят 4 на 4. Предимството е, че нападателя трябва да прочете защитата. Защитника ще трябва да загуби позиция в момента. Треньора ще му даде посока. You can start, guys.
Let's go.
Треньора му дава посока, нападателя чете защитата и започват атака.
Let's go.
Да се ориентира
Find your teammate. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go. Next time, go. Let down. He's edged me on. Same thing again. Oh, you ready first and then stop. Let's go. Come on. Okay, go again. No problem. Don't worry about it. Basti, stay in short corner. So we have one short corner spot occupied, one corner spot occupied. Deny. Like this. Okay. Let's go. Good. Good. Okay. Chris, swing the ball. Chris, don't worry, swing the ball to the other side. One more time. Stop that, okay? Stay in.
Искат нападателя от слаба страна да стои долу ниско под коша и да прави пресечка зад по крайната линия при хода.
Come in. Switch. Thanks, guys. Switch. Okay, the last thing that we're going to show you is just an idea to make this a little harder for the defense, so it's not so easy to understand what's happening. So what we're going to do is, we start in this situation, I'm going to go a little bit further there, okay? And these two guys are in charge of always making sure that there's one player on the help side, okay? Always one player ready on the help side, and they always have to switch positions. We're going to show what that means.
Сега дава още повече осложнение за защитниците.
So, always we need one guy.
Постоянно трябва да се сменят местата и съответно да са готови да помагат във всеки един момент, когато нападението пробие. Дава още предимство на нападението и те трябва бързо да четат играта, за да остане някой сам и да стрелят бързо.
Good. Stop there. Go again. One more time. This helps to make the situation a little bit more unpredictable. Yep. Good pass. Wow, stay there. One more time. Good. Okay, stop. Good. Good finish. Right. Okay. Now set up a simple 3-on-3 situation. Benny and Yoni come in here, wide as offense. You two are on the right wing. You two are on the left wing.
Сега отново ще има 3-на-3 ситуации.
So the next thing that I want to talk to you about is our basic spacing ideas. Like what do we want to teach players when they grow from under 12 to under 14 to under 16.
Това сега са основните им идеи в спейсинга, как да се движат играчите още от 12 годишни, 14, 16.
One thing that we like to teach them is to use the space on the whole floor. So to always understand that whenever we play 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 situations, we always want to use both corners. Okay?
Винаги искат да използват цялото игрище, независимо дали са 3 на 3, 4 на 4, 5 на 2, те трябва да използват и двата ъгъла на игрището, за да створят максимална защита.
We found a simple solution for that, which is to show them about gaps, like to tell them about gaps on the floor.
Иска да им покаже къде са празните места по игрището.
So whenever they create a situation where there could be one player between the guy in the corner, for example, and the guy having the ball, this is a double gap. Okay, this is a double gap, there's more space.
Когато има един защитник между топката и нападателя в ъгъла, това за него се нарича double gap, или т.е. позицията, в която има голямо пространство, което един защитник не може да покрие.
So the situation where I am on offense right now, the space between Jonas with the ball and me is just a single gap, which means, come in, which means it's harder to attack this space because there's always going to be one defender in the way of him that could help real quick and maybe strip the ball away.
Когато нападателя е на един пас от топката, тогава пространството е много по-малко и защитника може хем да помага, хем да има ситуации да възстанови.
So that's why one basic idea is just create these double gaps on offense.
Това тяхната идея в нападение е да имат тези double gap, който той спомена, т.е. по-голямо разстояние между двамата нападатели, които са в периферии.
The next one is, we talked about this earlier, very short, is that we always want all the players on the court to think as a scorer. It doesn't matter if they have the ball in their hands or if they're in the corner or one pass away.
Изключително важно е всички играчи на терена, независимо дали са с топка или не, да мислят, че са кървачи, че те ще вкарат топката в игра, че ще вкарат топката в коша. Всеки един от тях трябва да е готов да стреля.
What that means is, for example, when the ball is passed here, one simple thing is of course, he wants to catch the ball, to shoot the ball. So that's obvious. He wants to think as a scorer because he has the basketball in his hands.
Ясно е на всички, че човека, който получи топката, трябва да е готов да стреля. Това е ясно.
Now, he just passed the ball. He also wants to think to score. So he has some options. And those options are basically a read of what the defense is doing.
Подавачът също трябва да е готов да вкара кош. Той също трябва да иска да вкара и трябва да има няколко опции, като трябва да чете защитата в момента.
So, for example, this guy, he's a little bit lazy, defending just like this, so that's a good chance for him to do a front cut and try to score.
Защитника не е спрял пресечката към кош, имате опция веднага да се пресече и да се вкара.
Pass. Stay there. Next option, when he passes the ball, and Benny here plays deny right away, so he jumps with the pass. Maybe it's a chance right away he will speak up. Okay? And the third option that we give the players at the beginning of the season is when he passes the ball and Benny has a good defensive stance and there's no chance for him to create an advantage with a cut.
Следващата опция е ако защитника успял да спре двете пресечки.
Yeah, so then we give him the option to screen away for his teammate. Okay? And again, the next thing is those two guys will try to score the basketball. So he will hit the man, he will try to really hit him, and afterwards he wants to catch the ball. So maybe he has an option to open up right here. He's going to try to catch the ball to score right away. We want them to think to score.
Правилото, че всеки един от тях трябва да е готов във всеки момент да вкара кош. Затова и човек, който прави заслон, трябва да се обърне веднага към топката и другия, който излиза през заслона, трябва да е готов да атакува веднага.
Last thing, obviously, is pass to the right wing, okay, is that being on the weak side, he's always going to read his defender. Okay, whenever he sees the back number on the jersey or the back of his head, whenever he sees that he's not looking, it's a good chance to cut behind.
Това е правилото за пресечка от слаба страна. Всеки път, когато нападателя види гърба на своя защитник, трябва веднага задължително да пресече към коша.
So we're going to play a simple 3-on-3 right here. Both start at the corners and just play on what we talked about. Good run. Okay, stay here. Change offense, defense. Let's play. Read your man. Get open, read your man. Okay, stop that right there. Get back. Pass the ball here to the corner, to the wing. Go again. Set the screen. Set the screen again. Now, what you guys have to do is you have to hold the screen a little bit longer and make sure that he gets an advantage. Again, this is a short 2-on-1 pass, 2-on-1 advantage. We're doing a good job on the screen.
За да създадат предимство, човек, който поставя заслон, трябва да задържи позицията си на заслон по-дълго време, за да създадат тази ситуация двама на един, за която той говори.
Hit the man. Yeah, good. Head open. Okay. One more time. The goal is to get a wide open shot or layup. Wide open shot or layup. Mike, the next time you're inside, post yourself up. Okay, ask for the ball. Let's go.
Опитват се или да стрелят с леяп на пробив, или да създадат ситуация за отворен шут.
Good job. That's another option that we always give our players is when you cut to the basketball, you can post up if you think that you have a good matchup.
Винаги, когато някой състезател пресича към коша, може да се спре на нисък пост и да поиска топката, ако смята, че има предимство пред защитника си.
Okay, good job. Stop that right here. One more thing, get back to the original situation. Another thing that we try to teach them, and we got to do a better job of that right now, is to try and play 2 passes in a row. Okay, whenever you have a chance, try to play 2 passes in a row. A simple idea would be right now, go, pass, screen, catch it here, pop out, extra pass. And so we have 2 quick passes.
Опитват да направят да имат 2 паса поредно направени, без да се използва преди това периода.
Good shot, Benny. And then, the thing is, you gotta always talk about these things. Come here, pass the ball. Again, what happens? What happens is, we have a screen situation. If he really wants to score the ball, he would look if he could curl to the basket, which didn't happen.
Нападателят, който излиза през заслон, наистина иска да вкара кош, ще атакува заслона и ще влезе навътре към кош. Ще направи така наречения кърл.
Excellent. Good. Because those are the kind of situations that we want. We want them to make sure we have a short advantage on offense. So this is what just happened. Short 2-on-1 advantage, they had a good solution.
Това е което е техният принцип на падение, да създават ситуации двама на един, такива кратки предимства, които да използват веднага.
Mike, Max Eagle coming. Ihr beide auch? Ja, let's go. Ihr beide. You two have a short break. Okay. So, next step is, let's talk a little bit about how we actually work on the pick and roll itself. So you can work with pick and roll. Benny hier, genau, Benny hier, du bist dort. Du bist als Nachläufer dahinter. Ivo spielt mit den Offense Crystals. Genau. Ihr beide seid gut. Okay, let's go. Back. Okay, offense is going into defense. Let's just show it and then talk about it.
Показва ситуация, където един защитник е закъснял при пик н рол ситуация и атакуват двама на един. Искат веднага да завършат атаката.
Okay, so we're back on that. Don't worry, just a second. Okay, stop. Let's put Ivan on offense so that we have the colors clear. Exactly. Okay. So, this is a way to teach the pick and roll, in our opinion, that is really easy because it doesn't ask them to do things like prepare the pick and roll, to do things like set a good screen, for example, and all these other extra reads. So basically what you have with this kind of drill, where his decision is, he has to attack one way or the other. One hard dribble. So whenever he does that, his job is to separate to the other direction. So what we have is a small advantage, again, that is very similar to a high pick and roll, where you have the, come back, Mama has a high pick and roll, which is basically the same thing, like when he is going here, it's the same situation. So what we take away is everything that has to go before.
Това е подготвително упражнение за пик н рол, в което улесняват нападението, като те не мислят за това да се вкарат човека в заслона, за това да поставят бързо заслон. Той просто дава ситуацията на гарда да атакува бързо с дрибъл, да направят добър спейсинг двамата, да се раздържат от двете страни на наказателното поле, така че защитника да избира между тях двамата и да създадат предимство двама на един.
Let's go. Okay, good. Way to attack, take that. Good job. Let's go, quick. Let's be a little bit quicker, not stand around so much, organize. It doesn't matter all the time. Good. Good job, Chris. Let's go. Next one's up. Pass outside, let's go. Attack, separate. Good idea. Wow. Okay, good job. Okay, stop. Nice one. One good thing about this drill is that the offense can basically decide what kind of situations they want. They have an advantage anyways. They can decide what kind of advantage that is. Because the only rule that we give right now is defense has to be above the free throw line, like on the free throw line with their heels, and the second defender has to be in the middle circle. So they can decide if they want to start here to give them more of an advantage to make the passing decision, or if they wanted to play a little bit closer to him so they have more time until the second defender.
Нападателите винаги имат предимство, защото имат правило, че единия защитник стартира от центъра, а другия стартира над наказателната линия. И в момента се създава ситуация, където нападателите решават дали да имат предимство пред високия човек, като се дръпнат по-далече от него, или да минат по-близо до него и да имат предимство пред гарда, който тича да се възстанови позицията.
Good. Don't worry, you got good pass back. Wow, okay. Mike, okay. Next progression would be to do the same thing in a 3-on-3 situation with a very small advantage. Okay, so we're going to put red on defense, please. Red on defense, which means Ivan is going to be there. He's going to be here. Right, like this. Okay, same thing. Now the offense has to go to the right side, okay, so that we have the passing decision in the back of the ball handle.
Сега задължително нападателя стопка трябва да пробие на посоката обратна на човека в слаба страна, за да имат опции за пас.
Excellent, wow, good cut, good cut. That's exactly what we want him to do. Read the situation, read your defender. It doesn't matter if we're playing pick and roll or we're doing anything else, whenever you can cut to the basket, do it.
Без значение какво правят в нападение, всеки път, когато имате възможност да пресичате от слаба страна, трябва да го правят играчите.
Good, wow. Good cut, good idea, don't worry, no problem. Let's go. Let's be a little bit quicker. Proceeding to the next time, let's go. Robbie, mach mal weiß. So quick. Yoni substitution. Chris, go next, close. Hop, come on. Play, hop. Separate. Now what we want to teach them is we have this short advantage, so this guy, being the big guy, he has to separate and he has to do it quick. If he's late, this guy won't have to help.
Те имат кратко предимство в нападение и е много важно високия играч да много бързо да отиде към коша, за да може да се създаде това предимство да го използват. В противен случай ще се възстановят позицията в защита.
Okay. So, simple situation, he has to make a decision whether to help or not. So whenever he sees that his man moves toward the ball, his job is to lift up and get over.
В момента предимството е да накарат защитника от слаба страна да преценява дали да помага или не. И в момента, в който види, че нападателя на 0 градуса, когато види, че защитника тръгва да помага, това е момента, в който се качва нагоре към крилото, за да получи пас.
Let's go. Good pass. Look for the extra, good. Yeah, nice cut. Okay, don't worry. 5, 4, 3, great drive with the foul. Okay, good job, let's go. One more time. Last one, let's go. Hop, separate. Okay, good early pass. All right, good decision. Okay, wow. All right, stop. So the next step after doing this, after making pick and roll easier for them basically, is obviously to play pick and roll. So let's go to 2-on-2 situation with Basti on offense as the ball handler, okay, Maxwell as the screener. We're going to play 2-on-2 situations.
Класическа игра на pick and roll без някакво предимство на нападението и ще играят 2 на 2 в началото.
So we play 2-on-2. Let's have Chris and Abraham also inside to rotate in. Come here. Let's go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Solange ihr selber fahren müsst. Okay. So we're going to play 2-on-2, and we're going to tell them what they are supposed to do. The first thing is his job is to sprint toward the screen. Okay? The reason for that is that we want to create an advantage that is as big as possible.
Първото нещо е центъра да отиде на пълен спринт при заслона, защото иска да създадат предимство още оттам.
Because if he sprints, he has a chance to make sure this kind of situation happens. The defender is a little bit late on the pick and roll coverage.
Идеята е да се даде предимство защитника на високия играч да закъснее с защитата, да бъде далеч от нападателя.
Because as an offense, our goal is always to make the advantage in this situation as big as possible. So if we can make sure that he is late, the 2-on-1 is a little bit longer, we have more time to make a decision.
Ако успеят да създадат това предимство, ще имат повече време да отиграят тази ситуация двама на един. Колкото по-голямо предимство създадат, толкова повече време ще имат да вземат решение.
The second thing is, for him, his job is to prepare the pick and roll. What we teach them a lot is to attack the other side. So really to try and beat your man to this direction in order to set him up for the screen and to make sure that he is below 3-point line as soon as the screener comes and hits the man.
Другото нещо е гарда, като той изчаква високи играч да дойде да постави заслон, да се опитва да се надиграе едно на едно в обратната страна на заслона и да се опита да слезе колкото се може по-ниско, за да е агресивен и да по този начин да се вкара човека в заслон.
Alright, let's go. Let's show. Mach ich mal einen Weiß. Good idea, don't worry about it. Tarek, please give a second ball to those guys. Let's go. Second ball. Yeah. White stays on offense, but we rotate through. So now you guys are below. You're the screen setters. Okay? Good. You come here. You're going to be the next big guys. This is big for us that in under 16 we don't think in so much in positions because we still don't know in under 16 who is going to be in position 5, who's going to be position 4, position 3. You don't know for sure. So we want them to learn everything. We want everybody to be able to handle the ball.
Дори на 16 години не ги делят на позиции и искат в тези упражнения всички играчи да правят всичко. Да се учат какво да играеш из топката, какво да поставиш.
Yes, that's exactly what we want. Wow, good job. Let's go. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's repeat the same guys. Let's repeat. Okay, good job. Let's keep the same rotation. Just red team is on offense now. Okay, Jonas is going to be the ball handler right there. Want Chris on defense, please. You guys down low, setting the screen. Everybody else behind that. We're going to rotate in always.
Продължават същото нещо, просто прави упражнението прогресивно, слага играчите, които следващите са отзад и се въртат, всеки минава на всяка позиция.
One option to teach them how to play reversal passes and pass the ball inside is that we put a passing option right here so that after the pick and roll, when they play the pick and roll, go, prepare, they have a chance to pass the ball out penetrating to the coach, roll, and then either directly inside or into the post up to play from there.
Сега вече да запазва слаба страна, като няма нападател, който да стои там и това е треньора и имат опция да му поведат и той да свали топката под коша.
So in this situation we give them two options, either score on your own as the ball handler or pass the ball to the coach on the weak side. We don't give them the pass to the big guy because there's no help coming from the weak side.
Сега вече не се дава възможност да се поведе на високия човек. Гарда има две опции само. Едната е да кара сам на пробив и се шут, или да подаде на треньора в слаба страна. Идеята е, че треньора, неговия човек помага, съответно трябва да се намери паса в слаба страна. Този пас е който е директен.
Get it back, okay. One more time. You cannot pass to him directly, you have to pass to him or you finish.
Може или да завърши сам, или да подаде на треньора в слаба страна.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good idea. Don't worry, let's go. Quick. I'm on screen him. Alex, defense. Let's go. Come on. Sprint. Okay, good. Wait for that. So stop again. Let's make sure we do these things. First of all, prepare the pick and roll. Secondly, sprint as fast as you can to the pick and roll and out of the pick and roll. Okay?
Обръща внимание на двете основни задачи. Човека стопка да подготви заслона и прави заслона да направи на пълен спринт.
Има лиз. Okay, yes. Top. Spiele nicht mal, wenn du sicher ist. Oh ja. Yeah. Post. Good. Okay. Stop. Get back here. Pass to Max. So what Ivan did well right now was, when he was rolling to the basket, he tried to get a position that is not just a post-up, but trying to get a position as close to the basket as possible.
Хубавото нещо в нападение, което сега направиха момчетата, е това, че когато правят рол към коша, те не трябва просто да отидат в някаква позиция извън игрището, а да се опитат да вземат позиция колкото се може по-близо до коша.
Let's go. Tackle, roll. Good. Look the other way. Okay, don't worry, let's go. Next one's in. Sprint. Ask for the ball. Good. Play it. Abraham, read the situation. Good. Well, let's keep playing. Give him an option to pass the ball out. We're in a 2-on-2 situation. We always need to give ourselves a good passing option. Look, ask for the ball. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
Винаги в ситуации, когато играят такива игри, имат опцията да се подават топката след пикенрол, когато през играят в 2 на 2, 3 на 3 и така. След този пас. Всеки трябва да е готов да атакува коша постоянно.
Next one, let's go. Rotate. No problem. Let's go. Long. Go. Stop right there. Go again. You want to focus on rolling to the basket.
Сега обръща внимание на това, че играча, който постави заслон, избяга от коша, а не отиде на рол бързо към коша.
Let's go. Sprint out. Up. Ask for the ball. Yeah, that's better. Play open. Up. Read. Good. Alright, stop. Last step, 3-on-3, same situation. Wide on offense, Basti is the ball handler, Maxwell is the screener, and we got Alec here in the corner.
Сега ще играят 3 на 3.
Alright, let's play from there. Let's go. Prepare. Read. Good pass. Wow. Swing the ball. Again, we're in the same situation now. We had a possibility to swing the ball with 2 quick passes. This would have been what we would like better. So Maxwell, next time you catch the ball up top, 1 extra pass to the wing, okay? Let's go. Stay with the same.
След като вземат предимство от пик н рол, играчите имат опциите веднага да подбият си рол, да си дадат екстра пас.
Think of a message. Good. Okay, good defense. All right. Good read, Alec. Good read. Let's go. Sprint, next one. All right. Grab the rebound. Last possession. Again, focus on sprinting, focus on attacking, focus on reading. Let's go. Sprint, hit it. Okay. Get back. Now what we can see is, in this situation, preparing the pick and roll like we are doing right now, with attacking the other side. sometimes leads to bad timing on the pick itself. Because go a little bit back, because he is attacking, okay, and he's sprinting. So it's really hard to get a good timing with both guys being ready at the same time and at the right time.
Понякога, когато използва този принцип да се атакува на обратната страна на заслона преди заслона, се създава лош тайминг на нападението, т.е. центъра спринтира за да постави заслон, а играча, който трябва вече да мине през заслона, все още си напада човека на обратната страна. Затова е важно да се обърне внимание между двамата да има синхрон и да има добър тайминг.
Obviously, there are other ways to find a solution for this. For example, just keeping the ball in your hand to make it easier at the beginning. That's one option while he's coming up the screen. Or like posting up, so dribble with the right hand, right? Like this kind of thing. Those things happen, but we don't really like them for under 16 because we want those kids always to think that they want to score the basketball. So if you're like posting up or holding the ball just to wait for a screen to arrive, you're not really being a threat to the defense.
Използват този метод да атакуват заслона на обратната, да атакуват защитника на обратната страна на заслона, защото по този начин играчът е готов да реализира със ситуация 1 на 1. Може да се направят двете ситуации, които той показва. Топката да е в ръка и да чакат заслона, за да имат добър тайминг. Или да се обърнат с гръб и да си пазят топката, дриблирайки я, но тогава те не са заплаха за коша и затова те предпочитат при тази възраст, 16 годишни, да ги учат да бъдат агресивни и всеки един да е заплахата за коша и да може да вкара кош по всеки един момент.
Alright. Our time's up, so thank you all very much for being here. Thank you for your attendance. Thanks for playing. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to address.
Ако имате някакви въпроси, може да ги зададете сега. Има един въпрос.
Относно защитата, двама на двама. Защитата, двама на двама. В какъв ред, по какъв начин ги учат в пауза?
The question was about...
Със смяна, без смяна, отдолу и сега.
All right. Again, hey, let's get two guys out. Mike, Basti, Yoni, and matchup. Let's go. Who's with Yoni? Yeah, Benny, quick. Bobby for Benny. So we have two white guys. Don't worry about it. So the question was, what kind of defense we play in pick and roll? First thing that we teach, come here. First thing that we teach is a flat help. Okay, we don't want them to switch. We want them to learn a flat help.
Flat help. Той защитника не е агресивен да изкача, но не правят и смяна. Той само трябва да спре пробива в началото.
So his job is to make sure that he cannot attack in a direct line to the basket, and he wants to.
Задачата на високия човек е да спре директния пробив към коша.
So he wants to help, but then recover. His job is to fight over the screen as best as possible with the second dribble to be with.
Задачата на гарда е да мине над заслона и да се възстанови позицията колкото може по-бързо и съответно високия играч да се върне към своя човек.
That's the first step. Then we teach a short step out defense, like one step out.
Второто нещо е step out, но само една крачка напред, т.е. където се казва шоу, трябва да се покаже над заслона, да е агресивен. А гарда трябва да мине между своя защитник и нападател.
That's the second one. And on the side defense, we teach them to ice at some point, but we just started with it, so it's really new for them. Show.
На pick and roll страни използват side defense или push to baseline, но те тъкто са започнали да го тренират и все още не го владеят добре.
But the most important thing is I think they need to learn all of the pick and roll defenses in order to be able to play.
Те трябва да могат да научат всички видове защити и съответно да могат да играят срещу всички видове защити в нападение.
Anything else?
Други въпроси?
Yeah, we love to use the side pick and roll in transition. So simple situations, for example, come here, Mike has the ball, Mike is on offense, Yoni is at the sideline. We want our bigger players to be able to push the ball full court. So when he rebounds the ball, he's always allowed to attack. And if he passes the ball to the outside, he can go here, fake, he's going this way, and then sprint and play an early side pick and roll. That we really like to do.
Въпросът беше, понеже видяхме ситуация основно на пик н рол на върха, дали използват пик н рол страни и ако предпочита един от двата заслона, защо използва само това? Той мисли, че идеята му е в транзиция да играят пик н рол страни, защото искат високите играчи да атакуват през средата, да дадат паса в крилото и да играят там пик н рол.
Second option to play side pick and roll is if we swing the ball. Okay, so if we pass the ball to him, he passes the ball one more pass, he can follow his own pass to play side pick and roll.
Втората ситуация да използват пик н рол страни е когато обръщат посоката на нападение и отново играят пик н рол страни. Общо взето използва и пик н рол на двете позиции. Други въпроси?
Thank you guys very much.
Okay. You? Okay. First of all, for me and my assistant coaches, it's an honor to stay here representative to Real Madrad. Okay? Thanks for the tournament, thanks for everybody. Stay here.
Първо иска да кажа, че за него е чест да бъдат този турнир, за него, за клуба и за щаба.
Okay, we speak about the full core press defense. Okay, for me, the most important is in defense or playing defense is one-on-one with ball. The first practice, try to improve this. Try to improve the one-on-one defense with the ball.
Най-важното за него при пресиращата защита на цяло игрище е умението играчите да играят едно на едно в защита.
Okay, let's go.
Това е първото нещо, което се опитва да подобри в първата тренировка.
Okay, now with no ball. Remember, you stay with good position. For me, defense the ball is very important in your field. Never stay parallel to the field. Here, with good positions, let's go. Keep your body down.
Най-важното за него е позицията на краката при
Now that's the sideline and go to the middle. Okay? Let's go. Try it. Yeah, first one. Another player. Very important. Run with the ball. Run, slice, mix. Use your hands, big.
Трябва да използват краката, ръцете, да плъзгат и да тичат, да миксират, да плъзгат и да тичат.
Okay, one more. Very important, run. And when you go to this sideline, try to this, to stop the ball. Let's go. Run, more run.
Много е важно да тичат, да използват кръстосана стъпка и когато стигнат до страничната линия, да спрат топка.
That will go. Only until half court line, okay? When you finish until half court line, go back and repeat. Couples with one ball. Yeah, now only to the sideline. But remember, never, for me, never two slides. No. Why? You done only one. One slide, one slide, Okay? Very important, run with the ball. Come on.
Едно плъзгане, кръстосана крачка и след това трябва да тича. Само едно плъзгане.
Very good. Very good. Another couple. Come on, come on. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Yes, yes. And finish here. Yes. Very good. One more. Finish in the middle. Touch the sideline and go to the middle. And when you stay in the middle, finish. Okay. It's enough, it's enough. Very good. Very good. Another couple. Very good. Very good. Okay, stop. Next. Now, the ball, if you want, play chain. Okay? Try to attack the defense with surprise. Okay? Finish until half the line. Very good. Remember, run. Stop the ball. Very good. Run. Very good. Come on, come on. Another count. Let's go. Good position. Remember, run. Remember, run. Very good. Very good. Now the most important is the field. The slice and run. For what? For stop the ball. Very good. Very good. It's enough. Okay, okay, okay. Next. Next. Couples. Couples. Everybody in half, in line, half this line. Everybody couples. You hear the defense. Everybody with your defense. Okay, now the offense. Try to do this. Pick the ball up, shoot. The ball here, ball up, here, ball up, dribble, go back. Okay, the defense. The most important, when the ball stays down, your hands touch the ball. Touch the ball. When your ball up, hand up, and one hand down. Okay? Look, attack the floor, slice. I prefer when he used the first dribble, my first move, run. Run, and now slice. Okay? Repeat.
За него най-важното е когато се използва първия дрибъл.
This side. First dribble, run, and slide. Okay? Try it. Let's go.
И след това с един слайд да спрат топката.
Everybody play. Everybody play.
Когато топката е долу, ръцете си долу, когато топката е горе, едната ръка е горе.
Okay, stop. You over there. You over there. Okay, now, the next is the speaking difference. Okay? You speak in difference. Say ball. Ball. Okay? Speak. Let's go. Try it. Again. Use your hands. Remember. Tag. Run. Tag. Again. Go back. Use your hands. Use your hands. Again. Again. Okay, stop. Now, the offense, not just dribble. If you stay here, probably mean this. Okay? Space. No dribble. Space. Space. Move your feet. Remember, never parallel. Okay? Very important. One more.
Паралелно и защитника трябва да има добра дистанция спрямо нападателя.
Play. Everybody. Say ball. Speaking difference. Very good. Use your hands. Use your hands. Hold time. Very good. Use your hands. Come up. Stop. Okay. Now you can play one-on-one. Here. You play one-on-one if you're going to line. All the rings. Okay? And now, the same. All the same. You practice the same. What's the ring? This. Okay? Attack, go back, kick the ball. And when you want, play one-on-one. Okay? The one-on-one finish when the offense make or the defense pick the rim. But, wait. Tag. You tag. Shoot. You go to offer rebound. Yes? Me. Close the rim. If the ball touches the floor, finish one-on-one. Okay? You pick the rebound. Yes. Okay? Try it.
След стрелба трябва да има бокс-аут, да го сгърбат и ако топката тупне в полето, приключва играта.
Play. Use your hands. Very good. Close rebound. Repeat. Wide jump. No jump now. No jump in defense. For me, the most important is you start when he win the ball. Attack the ring, you run, and now stop the ball. When he shoots, close the rim. Your hands, always, here. One hand up, always. If you prefer this, if you prefer this, for me it's not important. For me important is your activity, your hands, your feet, remember, okay? I'm always speaking difference. Let's go. Play one-on-one, come on.
Най-важното за него позицията на краката, дистанция.
Use your hands. Very good. Use your hands. Very good. Very good. Rebound. Very good. Use your hands. Very good. Rebound. Very good. Excellent. Good job. Use your hands. Very good. Remember, first of all, run. Rebound. Very good. Rebound. Okay, stop. The offense. If I want to improve your defense, it's very important I go to offer rebound. Always.
Нападението да ходи за борбата на нападение всеки път.
And very important. Today, the first step, okay? Very important. For what? For running and stop the ball. Okay? Let's go, play.
Най-важното за него е първата крачка в защита.
Let's go. Use your hands. Hand up. Always. Hand up. Say ball. Hand up. Very good. Rodrigo. Thank you. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Use your hands. Run. Very good. Okay. Everybody here. Rodrigo, everybody here in the sideline. You with ball. Defense. Everybody this side. Okay. Now, the offense, the defense, okay? Next step, you try to fake this, and when you want, pass the ball to the coach. Yeah. Okay. Now, the defense, when the ball go to the air, line pass. Okay? Line pass. Now, the coach, you dribble, you play this play, you run, three-pointer line, you run. When the ball attack the floor, you open. Okay? Me record the close out, ball. Play fake, run, wait for me, I touch the ball and play one-on-one. Okay? Now, try to improve the one-on-one with no ball. Always in defense. When the ball stays in the air, move. Always. Okay? And remember, run, close the rebound, and speed.
Сега иска от тях, който топката се подаде с паса, да отскочат към топката, ако има нужда да помогнат от силна страна и след това да направят хубав клоузаут и да възстановят, като трябва да докоснат топката и тогава вече играят едно на едно.
Let's go. Use your hands. Ahora cambiamos. No, stop. Look. Ball. Line pass. Line pass. Very good. Wait. Now, fake and record. Look the fake. This fake. Line pass here. Now not here. You can play this line pass. You can play this line pass. This. And now here. Okay? Look here. Press the line pass.
Иска да отскочат на линията на подаването в отворен стоеж, да не играят динайто, да са на линията на подаването. И когато тупне топката, тогава има помощ, след това възстановяване.
Now my left hand touch the ball. My right hand close the pass. Look. Fake. Look. Touch the ball. The ball go. Record hand up with good balance. Okay? And remember, no parallel. Here. Hand up. Attack the ring, the ball, and defense. Let's go.
Едната ръка търси топката, другата ръка затваря линията на подаването и след това...
Touch the ball. Hey, touch the ball. Stay ball. Hey. Very good. Ball. Hey. Touch. Go. Very good. 1-on-1. Remember, hey, coaches, here. He defense 1-on-1, and he this. No record the ball. It's very important. You defense the close out, you defense the ball, and remember, run for what? For stop the ball. Okay? Very good. Right.
Позицията си, когато е минат, не трябва да има слайд, а трябва да тича.
Play. Very good. Fake. Good. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Dribble. Now, play. Hey. Come on. Very good. Where's the ball? Fake. Record. Run. Very good. Close the rebound. Very good. Another. Come on. Where's the ball? Very good. Where's the ball? Very good. Fake. Record. Very good. Okay. Now, if the offense make now defense, the first step to full court press. If the defense pick the rebound and attack until half court line. Okay? If the offense make the defense pick the ball, pass to the coach, inside the court, receive, and play 1-on-1 until half court line.
Ако нападението вкара кош, защитата взима топката, подава на треньора, играят до центъра 1-1.
Let's go.
Защита става нападение.
Ball, where's the ball? Hey, run. Very good. Rebound, right. Very good. Play. Very good. Play. Very good. Play. Remember, run. Rebound, right. Very good. Stop the ball. Very good. Play. Stop. Two things. The defense, when the defense the full court press, okay? Now, very important. Now no shoes. Now your hands down. Pick the ball, please. Here, pick the ball. Here. Yeah. Okay. Now, the most important, when he tried to change the ball, my hands here. For what? For no change. Okay? Two things. Remember, run and this. Okay?
Най-важното нещо, когато топката се дриблира, когато топката е долу и ръцете да са им долу. Когато искат да сменят посоката, ръцете да са долу, да им дават да сменят посока.
Keep your way down. Let's go. Very good. Ball. Very good. Fake. Record. Very good. Say ball. Run. Very good. Reload. 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 Run. Remember? Very good. Run. 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 Very good. Let's go. Good. Good. Take. Very good. Reload. Reload. Run. Slice. Right. Very good. No speaking defense. Baseline, baseline. Stop, stop, stop. Very good. Pass the ball. Stop, stop. Ball. Now, you press the ball. Okay? You press the ball, use your hands. When the ball goes over there, you space. Go to the ball. Line pass. And now, defense.
След като вкарате кош, искате топката, когато се вкарва в игрището, когато се подаде на треньора, отивате на линията на топката и след това, когато ме върнат, играете 1 на 1 до центъра.
Try.
Пресираща.
What is the ball? Very good. Very good. Remember run. Remember run. Run. Very good.
Pass, pass, pass.
Okay, next. Okay. Okay. You play one-on-one, all the same. You pass the ball, line pass, okay, tag, fake, record, wait, okay. Now, when you record, you this. You attack the baseline, you record, pass the ball, go on the wing. Me, try to press this line pass. If you can play backdoor, you can play backdoor. And now, if no play backdoor, the coach attack this side of body. Fake, ball, and now play one-on-one. Yeah, play one-on-one. And now, you finish your one-on-one and play full court one-on-one. Let's go.
Началото е същото, само че след като му върнат топката, давате предимство на нападателя да пробие в пас на 0 градуса, след това трябва да затворите линията на подаването, нямате право на бекдор. Имате още една помощ, когато във път играете 1 на 1. Има ли кош, играете 1 на 1 на цяло игрище.
Very important. Say ball. All time defense. Come on. Try it. What is the ball? Fake. Record. Say ball. Very good. Record. Line pass. Fake. Record. 1-on-1. Very good. Reload. Reload. Play. Run. Another couple. Remember run. Very good. Remember run. Right. Finish. Very good. Very good. Very good. Line pass. Line pass. Run. Stop. Stop. You watch all the prayers is normal. When here start the defense, try to this. This is a law for defense. It's very important to try to stop the ball, running all the time. Try to run, one slide, run, stop the ball. Okay? Because this is the last, I don't know, 10 years.
За него най-важно е да тичат, за да спрат топката, защото с защитно предвижване вече твърде бавно и трябва да могат да ги миксират двете неща. Да тичат, има един слайд, когато трябва да затворят топката и да старат повече да тичат.
Very good. Very good. Take, record, run. Very good. Line pass. Very good. Okay. Very good. Now, very good. Right. Stop the ball. Stay. Come on. Very good. Good balance. Very good. Very good. Good job, man. Come on. Close the rebound. Close the rebound. Very good. Slap. Run. Run. Very good. Very good now. Stop the ball. Use your hand. Hand up. Hand up. Very good. Stop. Stop. Ball to the coach. I want this. Press the line pass. This guy needs to play back door. Why not? Aggressive the line pass. Pass the ball. If he plays back door, don't worry. Last player stick here. Okay?
Иска да станеш на линията на подаването. Какво ще има на подаването?
You can use this hand for line pass or this. Both. Look, line pass and this. Play backward. Probably I pass it. Use your hands. Okay? Let's go. Good job. Smile. Very important. Smile. Very good. Pass the ball. Come up. Rebound. Run. Run. Okay. Okay. Stop. Next practice. Next exercise. You play one-on-one. You defense. You here with the ball. Stay. You're in the other side of the wing. The last practice one-on-one. Okay? Now, you defense one-on-one. You offense. You try to make free for you. Okay? Now, when you shoot, if you miss, try to pick a rebound. Okay? If you make, go to defense. Because I pick the ball like this. And you defense the close out. You don't wait. You receive the ball and attack. If you can shoot, you can shoot. You can play one-on-one. Touch to make, and now run for record. The close out. With good balance, hand up and use your hands. Okay?
След като сте в нападение, по най-бързия начин.
When you offense, when you finish the offense, you defense over there. Okay? Let's go. Play. One-on-one. Very good. Very good. Rebound. Let's go. Rebound. Let's go. Run. Go down. Hey. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Нападение става защита.
Use your hands. Remember, hands, slice, good balance. Very good. Very good. Very good. Rebound. Yes. Single time defense. You offense and others defense. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Rebound. Hey. Hey. Okay. Wait. Wait. It's very important the players think in offense, in defense. In defense, in offense. Focus all time.
Важно е играчите да мислят, да се концентрират постоянно, да знаят кога са нападение, кога са защита.
Okay, next step. Number 10 with ball. In the sideline. You offense now. You defense. You offense. The wing. You. And you defense. Okay? Okay. Play 2 on 2. Play 2 on 2, full court press. Okay? The first offense, only until half court line. Okay? Wait.
Първото нападение до центъра.
Yeah. You defense one-on-one, press the ball. You try to receive the ball. Okay? You. And you try to this. In offense, try to receive the ball here. Okay? That's the offense, the defense for receive the ball. If not, you can this option. You run, change the position for receive the ball. When you receive the ball, wait, the defense. Go over there, stop. Where is the ball? And you? Very good. I wait, and now, play this. Dribble, fake, and record. When the ball, very good. You wait, okay? You attack the middle, you run, fake, and record the ball. Okay? Only this. Okay.
Падението се опитва да получи топката, като я получи, има дрибъл към средата, лъжливо движение за помощ, възстановява. Изчаквайте защита.
But remember, always stay ball, always run, always use your hands, okay? And the most important in basketball, what? The most important in basketball? No? No? Smile. Okay? It's very important. Let's go. Right.
Защитата винаги да говори и да се използва ръцете.
Where is the ball? Very good. Fake. Very good. Fake. Very good. Okay, okay, okay. Stop. Repeat. Excellent. Excellent. Repeat. No, no, no. The same players. The same players. Good job. No listen ball. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Come on. That's the ball. Keep your way down. Very good. Very good. Very good. Where's the ball? Ball. Very good. Fake. Very good. Fake. Very good. Fake. Very good. Next. Four players. Come on. One more. Where's the ball? Very good. Very good. One dribble. No fake. What is the fake? Fake. No. Stop. Stop. No. I want this. Full court press. Very important for me. Full court press. All the defense push. Push the ball. This. You stay here. The ball over there. Fake and run.
Много важно за него пресиращата защита е цялата защита да натиска топката. Да има лъжливо движение към топката и след това да възстановява.
Always. Always. Come on. Use your hands. Use your hands. Very good. Very good. Where's the ball? Very good. Take. Very good. Where's the ball? No. Stop. Stop. Ball. First of all, you here. If you stay here, attack. No. Attack the wing. If you stay here in full ball press, it's impossible. You stay. Oh. Always watch the ball. Look here. When he attack, fake, ball in here, pass, and you run to the space, not to the ball. If you run to the ball, probably the man with the ball play you fake and run to stop the space. And when you stay until the ball, stop the ball.
И когато възстановяват защитниците, не трябва да бягат към човека с топка, а трябва да се опитат да избягат пред него и да го застанат в коридора пред него да спрат топката.
Come on, that's the ball, that's the ball, that's the ball. Very good. What is the ball? What is the ball? Very good. Fake. What is the ball? Very good. Fake. Run. Very good. What is the ball? Very good. Pass the ball. Very good. Next. Next, come on. Okay, stop, stop. I need one more difference. You stay in the middle. Next step. Step by step. You stay here. Defense is the same. 2 and 2 plus 1 in defense.
2 на 2 плюс 1 защита.
The same. You receive the ball. You go over there. You wait. Okay. Now you stop. 2 seconds. Okay? Now, you play this. You fake and run. And wait. Wait. Probably, I want to receive the ball here. Okay? In this side. Why? You stay here, over there. And now, you try to defend the ball. For me, go to the sideline. Close the middle. Okay? Okay. I go to the middle. No. you go with me. Go with me, go with me. And you, very good. Line pass. Try to steal the ball. Okay? Trap. Come on.
Сега защитника на топката трябва да затвори средата и да форсира нападателя по страничната линия. Човека от силна страна да го следва, да направят капан и третия защитник да открадне.
Wait, the last player. Speaking difference. Say, in my country say ultimo. Ultimo, try. Ultimo, very good. Okay, ultimo, last player. Ultimo, hablar, speak. Come on, press the ball, press the ball. Very good, very good. Hey, run, wait, very good. Hey, stop, stop, stop. Very important thing. Pick the ball. Well, if you stay here, probably the man with the ball watch your trap. You try when the ball go to the air and he record, you try to dribble. Stay here. The man with the ball don't watch the defense. If you stay here and go to the trap, the man with the ball watch the trap and probably play this. Okay?
Човекът, който отива на капан, трябва да бъде зад гърба на човека с топката, за да не го вижда.
Remember, use your hands all the time. Close the pass. Very good, very good, very good. Defense, very good. Okay, okay, very good, very good. Another offense. Now, the offense try to make 2 on 3. Okay? Let's go. When you stop the ball, the man, defense, the trap, go to the middle, and you with your man. Yeah. Okay? Let's go, try. Very good. Very good. With the ball, fake, run, with the ball. Very good, very good. Stop the ball. Very good. With the ball. Very good. Hey! Let's go. No, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. Ball. Very good. Don't worry. Here. Ball. 1-on-1. Your line pass. Don't worry. Okay? Yes. You fake. You. Last player. Okay? And when the ball goes to the middle, you fake. If the ball goes to the sideline, look. Hey. Trap. Okay?
Защитника, с който е един пас от топката, когато топката идва към средата, трябва да направи важливо движение да спре топката. Когато топката отива към страничната линия, да е готов за капан.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Stop the ball. Don't press the ball. Don't press the ball. You're not the last player. Very good. Okay. Stop. Okay. Next players. Come on. I need. Okay. Perfect. Let's go. Very good. No ball. No improve. You're 1-on-1. Wait. 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 Very good. Ball over there. Look. Defense. You stay over there. Line pass. Line pass. Okay. You attack the middle. You fake and you look. The ball in the air. Fake. You fake and stay last player. When this guy play trap, line pass. Okay? Let's go. Try. Press the ball, press the ball, press the ball, press the ball. Use your hands. Very good. Very good. Very good. Stop the ball. Very good. Very good. You attack the ring. Next ring. Attack the ring. Attack the ring. Very good. Oh. Okay. Okay. Next step. Another player. You offense. Okay, now, the defense, close the ring. Here. Okay? Now the same. You can try to play 3-on-3. 3-on-3. You here, you press the ball, defense, the ball over there.
Също нещо 3-на-3.
Okay? Very good. Very good. Now, you attack the middle. You fake, pass. Wait. Line pass. No. You defense the ball. Okay. Now, you pass the ball. Very good. And when you receive the ball, you close the middle. You try to do this, and look. Very good. Okay? If they go, the ball, stop. Go over there, you fake and record. Okay? You wait for the defense, and now, attack, pass, and finish. Let's go. Try it. What is the ball? Very good. Slow. Very good. Repeat. Another. Slow. Now, slowing offense. Space. Okay. Stop. Ball. 1-on-1. You try to break the defense. Okay? Let's go. Now, very good. Short fake and record. When the ball in the air, what? Fake. You stay here, last player, pass. When the ball, fake and run to the space. Ball, stop the ball. Now, I try to, this guy, go to sideline. Run, close, trap. And do 2 options now. You can fake, record, or you can close the line pass. Okay? Probably this guy will see the ball. Go over there. Come on.
Човека от слаба страна, когато топката е във въздуха, има лъжливо движение, след това трябва да форсира нападателя си, да отиде по страничната линия, за да има капан. И имаш 2 опции, когато си последен защитник, да затвориш първия пас или само да направиш лъжливо движение и да възстановиш.
What is the ball? Very good. What is the ball? Yeah. Very good. Run! Very good. Close the rim. Excellent. Another. The same players. Wait. The same players. Okay, now in offense, it's free for you. Okay? In defense, try to defense this. Okay? Let's go. Oh, I touched the ball. What is the ball? Okay. The ball is still here. Look. In this defense, I can this. If this guy receive over there, it's good for the defense. If this guy receive over there, it's not good for me. Okay? I stay here, in this space. This guy never played my back. And if this guy receive the ball over there, it's good for me.
Ако нападателя получава топката възможно най-далече от кош, това е окей за защита.
And if the ball go over there, it's good for the defense. 3 seconds in offense, and the ball stay down the ring. It's good? Yes. Excellent. Come on. Remember, run in defense. Pass the ball. Where? Very good. Yes. Come on. Repeat. 23. Run. Remember, run. Perfecto. Vamos. Let's go. Very good. Where's the ball? Very good. All right. Very good. You're one-on-one. Yeah. Run. Very good. Stop the ball. Hey. Come on. Very good. Where's the ball? Close the rebound. Very good. Next player. Come on, one more. 10, play. 13, play. Okay, free for offense. Let's go. Very good. Fake, remember, defense the space. Okay, next step. Play. 4 players, play. You are my favorite player. And you, come on. You defense. Offense? No, you defense. You offense? You defense? You offense? You defense. You stay in the middle. Okay? Blue defense? Okay. White offense. You offense. White. Over there. Down the ring. Out the corner. Okay, now I play. 4. No, 3 and 4. Okay? 3 and 4. 1 more. And reaction 4 and 4. Okay? Finish here. Okay?
Започват 3 на 4, има предимство за защитата и на връщане играете 4 на 4.
If the defense can steal the ball, if you steal the ball, finish here.
Ако защита открадне топката, може да...
Okay? Now, you can steal the ball. Okay? It's free for offense, free for defense. Try to this. Try to defend the ball. Try. If the ball go to the sideline, play trap. Remember fakes. Remember line pass. Remember run. Okay? Very good. Come on. Play. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, another offense. Another. Stop. Repeat. Number 10. Wait. You defense, you are now the last player. Okay? You know trap. You fake or close the line pass for the steal the ball.
Значи ли само правиш?
Let's go. Wait, come on. Very good. Fake. Very good. Fake. Very good. Hey! And pass. Where's the ball? Very good. Where's the ball? Speed. Very good. Line pass. Reaction. Fake. Where's the ball? Very good. Fake. Stop. Very good. Speed in defense. It's very important. Another. Remember, now, the most important in defense is your one-on-one responsibility in defense. Individual responsibility. Okay? It's the most important.
Най-важното нещо за тази защита е възможността 1 на 1 да спрете човека, който пази. Вашите качества 1 на 1 на защита.
Play. Where's the ball? Very good. What is the face? What is the ball? Very good. Run. Very good, number 9. Record. Very good. Now. Stop. Ball here. Wait. Very good, number 10. Look. I want this. The ball go here. You stay over there. But when this guy have the ball, you press the ball. Remember this exercise? Remember this? Defense. Defense. Remember this? Remember? It's the same. The ball go over there. I stick here. He touches the ball and now give it. Why? Because if you defense, this guy different, this guy different, this guy different. If you stay here, never.
В момента, в който нападателят получи топката, иска от тях да пресират и да са до топката.
Come on. I want the ball. I want the ball. Come on. I need the ball. Try to steal the ball. Come on. Press the ball. Press the ball. Press the ball. Very good. Where's the ball? Yeah. Hey, run. Very good. Hey, run. Very good. Don't change. Don't change. Very good. Where's the ball? Very good. Line pass. Line pass. Hey. Very good. Touch the ball. Dribble. Dribble. Come on. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Yes, I like. Yes. Hey, stop. Stop. Ah. Yeah, no, it's good. Ball over there. Ball over there. Trap. It's excellent, your defense. But now, I try to steal the ball. I try to steal the ball. If you can't steal the ball over there, you fake and run to the space. Because probably this guy will steal the ball and make it layup. Okay? Come on, another.
Ако е капана е добър, трябва да се опитате да откраднете топката, ако не сте сигурни, само можливо движение и възстановявате защита.
Play. Good balance. What is the ball? Yeah. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Big defense. Ah. Very good. Touch. Touch. Hey. Oh, give me ball. Come on. Wait. Wait. Big guy. Big guy. White. No. Blue. 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 You watch? Look your foot. No? Very important. Very important. Details. This. Look. You stay in the same place. But look, if you stay here, I prefer this. This for run. If you stay here and the ball. No. If you stay here, your head, you stay in the same place. Okay? Very important. Remember, go back. Come on! What is the ball? Very good. Take it. What is the place? What is the ball? Very good. Hey! Stop! Stop! Find your man. Repeat. Individual. Man to man. Full court press. Man to man. Go. Where's the ball? Push. Very good. Very good. Very good. Go. Very good. Use your hand. Very good. Where's the ball? Yeah. Good. Touch the ball. Touch the ball. Land pass. Touch the ball. Record. Record. Very good. No down. Rebound. Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody coming. Players. Okay. Thank you, players. Thank you very much. Thank you, coach. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I try to explain the difference, the step-by-step, with different exercise.
Много ви благодаря. Той се опита да да ви представи неговото виждане за пресираща защита, стъпка по стъпка и как се старае да обучава неговия опит.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Имате ли въпроси?
Okay.
Бързо да забравиш това.
Почивка ще дадете?
Значи, освен, че преподавател в Испания, той бил 20 години професионален баскетболист. В момента е лицензиран баскетболен агент. Занимава се с треньорство, води индивидуални тренировки за подобряване на качеството на баскетболистите. И има собствена компания за организиране на баскетболни кампании.
Okay, thank you, Maurice. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks to Manuel and Maurice, all the organization to think on me to give this speech of 1 hour. Thanks.
Иска да благодари на БУБА и на Wedell за възможността да изнесе тази лекция, която ще продължи около 1 час.
Well, this speech will be about emotions and feelings and how the motivation impact in the players.
Лекцията ще бъде за емоциите, чувствата и това как да мотивираме играчите с тяхната мотивация.
Most of you are coaches and that have many more experience than me, like coach. So I want to give you my point of view like player. Try to transmit you my experience, my philosophy of these situations.
Той знае, че всички тук в залата имат много повече опит от него от гледната точка на треньор и това, което той ще се опита да представи е неговия опит като играч и гледната точка на играча за мотивацията.
My intention is not to teach you nothing, just to give you my point of view, give you some details. If are useful for you, perfect. Maybe you are agree, maybe not. That is the best thing of this situation we can discuss.
Значи той няма за цел да обучи някой от нас, а просто иска да представи една гледна точка, с която може да се съгласите, може да не се съгласите, но нали, да е нещо, върху което да размишляваме.
And after that, I hope my English will be enough to, I'm not so good speaking English, but I will try. My presentation is a little bit far, but I spoke with the organization also. All this material is for you, so I will give them, and if you want to use it.
Да, тъй като е малко далече презентацията и няма да може да се прочете добре, но той след това ще предостави, така че който искаше може да я получи и аз ще се опитам колко мога да разбера това, което пища.
So, to start, the speech are more or less in 2 or 3 parts.
Има 2 или 3 части от лекцията.
First part is about motivation, how the feeling, the motivation affect, and which factors can affect.
Кои фактори влияят върху мотивацията?
Emotions, because your emotional situation is really mostly is the key to control and to activate the motivation.
За емоциите, които са ключа към това да активирате, да създадете мотивация у някого.
And after, how you, by my point of view, can help with the strategies you can use to detect how is the player emotionally, to act, and to evaluate after the situation, to help always the player.
И третата част е неговото виждане за това как ние може да разпознаем емоциите на даден играч и как може да помогнем с мотивация.
Okay, first of all, to introduce myself, I was player during 20 years, I retired 6 years ago, and I started like agent. And with pro player, but with youth players, mostly. There is one examples from all countries, from Serbia, Montenegro, Macedonia, Bulgaria, from Spain, and each one has different goals, different cultures.
Това, което е там, е списка с играчите, на които той помага след като се е отказал от кариерата си на професионален баскетболист и започва да се занимава да помага на играчи. Има играчи от цяла Европа, от Швеция, Хърватия, Испания, Полша, България и от Египет, общо от цял свят.
Well, in my job, how I feel my job, for me the more important thing, plus the talent, physical or technical talent, is the own culture of the player and the families. To try to make a good help, it's really important to know the goals, if we are in the same page or not. If I go to one player and the family is thinking in money, bye-bye. If the family is thinking in studies, perfect. So I have my own strategy. Thinking in coaches, this is the players that most of them, you know, Diego Siqueira, Sami Champara, Mihailo Jovicic, Kostas Kostadinov. I'm helping, I think, big talents in that moment. Supporting other players like Thomas that is here, and with my friend Lektor. And well, this is. Yes, the thing is that I'm trying to help the player to try to give a different situation, life experience about studies.
Работа е да помогне на играчите да им даде съвети за различни неща от живота, които им се случват.
Well, going to the speech, my first more important point of this speech is try to explain to you that for me, unmotivation doesn't exist.
Значи първото нещо, което иска да наблегне в неговата лекция, е, че за него липса на мотивация не съществува.
If you understand this point, you will understand after all the speech.
Ако това вникнете в това нещо, ще разберете остатъка от лекцията.
For example, when you put a TV and you are seeing the shop TV with many things to buy, you are not unmotivated to buy.
Когато видите по телевизията реклами, вие не сте мотивирани да купите нещо просто защото го виждате.
Just to need one click to motivate. This is the strategy of this shops.
Има нужда от нещо да активира вашето желание да купите.
They try to give you one reason, one motivation to buy, but you are not unmotivated to buy.
Тоест трябва да имате причина да си купите нещо. Вие не е, че нямате мотивация, просто не сте намерили причината да.
The player is not unmotivated to go to practice. The player is not unmotivated to study. The player needs reasons to be motivated. You have to give reasons to create the atmosphere, to detect, to react, to give one kind of reaction. The player is not unmotivated to come to the game. Maybe the player lives 1 hour far away from the gym, but he is not unmotivated. He needs reasons. Help him on this, and he will be in the practice. Do you understand the point that I want to see? I want to talk about this.
Значи, играчите нямат липса на мотивация, те имат липса на причина, трябва да намерят причина да идват на тренировка, причина да дойдат на матч и имат различни трудности, например, живеят на един част от залата и вие трябва да разбирате тези трудности, да разбирате какво да ги мотивира, така че да дойдат, да им дадете причината да дойдат на тренировка.
So basically, if I have reasons, if I have good reasons, I can act, I can react. If I don't have reasons, if I don't have some points, important points, if me like coach, like teacher, if I don't create the correct atmosphere, if I don't detect what happened with you, what is your thinking, what is your worries, maybe you will let the practice or you will not be ready 100% to the practice.
Значи, ако не мога да открия каквото мотивира, да открия правилните, какви проблеми имаш в даден момент, или мога да открия причините за поведението на даден играч, може би ще се откаже и няма да продължи да играе баскетбол.
So starting from this point, we will see which situations can affect on the motivation and which can be your strategies to detect and promote the player to be motivated.
Сега ще разгледаме различни случаи и стратегии може да се използват за да мотивираш даден играч.
So, obviously, the level of motivation increase your level of attention and so increase your improvement or the situation to improve.
Да, това, което пише на предния слайд, е, че нивото на мотивация и нивото на отдаденост и на внимание на даден играч водят до напредък.
So for me there are two levels, two kinds of motivations.
Има два вида мотивация в спорта.
Situations from extrinsic motivation.
Това пише външни фактори, които влияят на мотивацията.
This motivation is all the things that you are listening inside the practice. How the coach teach to you, speak with you, the rewards, you have a final four, you have a playoff, you have an important game.
Да, т.е. това е какво ти казва треньора, на какви състезания участваш, как се справяш на тях.
And from other side, your own goals, your own feeling that what you can do for yourself, workouts, hire a personal coach, personal desires to be a good player or to try to improve.
Да, отясно е вътрешната ти мотивация, т.е. това са собствените причини, които намираш за да тренираш. Сам за себе си да искаш да се подобриш, да си поставяш цели, да гледаш допълнително баскетбол, за своите собствени нужди, ти сам да искаш да се мотивираш.
There are many players that like to see games on TV, see the NBA or see the teammates of the all categories of the club play for himself, just because he likes to see, he likes to learn something else. This is the intrinsic motivation.
Да, това са неща вътрешни. Нали аз ги казах на български.
It's impossible that you read this, that is the same that you see in the picture before.
Да, това е сплета или нещата, които в момента казах. Тоест, същото, което го казах, просто написано на слайда.
So for me there are two factors that has direct influence in the motivation. External factors and internal factors. The external factors are...
Има два вида фактори, които влияят на мотивацията, вътрешни и външни. И това тук сега ще са примери за вътрешни и външни фактори. Точно какво ни говори.
External factors, families, friends, girlfriend, boyfriend.
Значи външните неща, които влияят са, например, фамилия, приятели, приятелки.
Social recognition that the people say to you that by the street, hey, good game the other day, that situation, external situation motivates you, helps you to motivate. And also the social media. Many kids need a lot of followers in Instagram and Facebook is the time to do this and as much.
Други външни фактори са социални, като приятели да ти кажат, добре игра днес, добре се справи, добре тренираш и също и социалните медии, Facebook, Instagram и така нататък, където хора, децата се следват едни други и си правят коментари.
That has influence in your motivation.
Това всичко влияе върху мотивацията.
And the internal factors. Your role in the team, your role in the practice, personal goals on basketball, the relationship between the teammates, if are good, if not good, if you are a good player or not. The inverse affect obviously in your motivation, and the relationship with the coach for me is essential. That I know that I have the support of him. Doesn't matter if I play well or not. He will help me, or I don't have it. So for me it's important the relation with the coaches.
Вътрешните фактори са ролята на даден играч в тренировките и в мачовете, личните му цели, които си е поставил, взаимоотношенията с отборниците, контузии. Също е много важно това взаимоотношение на даден играч с треньора си, дали треньора го подкрепя, как се държат един с друг двамата. И последното е умората от самия тренировъчен процес, която също влияе на мотивацията.
So to try to help, if we talk about how motivate for me, the first thing is that motivation doesn't exist. And the other thing to know, to try to help, to try to motivate the player, or to try that the player will be motivated. We need to know which situation put his motivation down. If we know most of this situation, we can detect it before and we can put results. We can help. If we know which situations can affect, it will be easy for us to make one big structure to our practice will be motivated to learn.
Аз значи отново напомня, че за него няма такова нещо като липса на мотивация и е много важно треньорите да могат да разберат какво кара даден играч да бъде умил, да липса мотивация от него, и ако ние можем да разпознаем какво го кара да не тренира толкова силно и да не е толкова старателен и да не се чувства добре, можем да му помогнем. И сега ще продължим с примери за това, какво би му влияло негативно.
If I don't play with the team, if I'm on the bench, if I don't play, I know this player is playing less than the other one situation. If I don't, when I came to the practice, I don't practice like the others.
Ако не участвам в тренировката, ако седя отстрани по време на тренировката, това също ще ни даде.
We are 13 on the practice, we are 12 in the practice, and the coach always practice with the good players, but not with me. I'm always in one side, or I'm the guy who always rests in the practice.
Да, ако си 13-ти човек на тренировка и треньорът тренира само с 12 души и играят само по-добрите от тебе, ти си стоиш отстрани, не ти обръщат внимание.
There are many, if I don't have goals, personal goals,
ако нямам собствени цели, ако не съм си направил цели.
I have other relationships in the locker room. If I'm from other country and I don't understand the language.
Други фактори са, например, ако има лоши отношения в съблекаването между самите играчи, ако си чужденец и не знаеш добре език и не си се акклиматизирал в обстановката.
Bad relation with the coach, the injuries.
Лоши отношения с треньора.
If I live far away from the gym, my ubication is this. If I feel like I'm the worst in the team.
Ако се чувстваш, че си най-слабия в отбора, ако живееш далече от залата и трябва да пътуваш много, това ти изморява психически.
Or the opposite, if my reality is absolutely wrong, if I think I'm better than I am, if I think I'm the best player of the world, of my team, of my city, of my neighborhood, if my reality is confused.
Ако нямам реална оценка за своите умения и ако си мисля, че съм най-добрия в отбора, но всъщност не си, ако нямаш реална представа за това какви умения имаш, също това влияе негативно върху.
So from my experience with job prospects and my experience like player, the coaches normally use two kinds of models of motivation inside the practice.
От неговия опит той открил, че треньорите използват два типа мотивация по време на тренировки.
The motivation oriented to the task.
Мотивация свързана с действието, което се извършва, целта, която имаме с някакво упражнение.
So that means that the players think that working, learning new skills will be better, will be improved. So
играчите смятат, че ще се подобрят. Колко повече тренират, толкова повече ще се подобряват.
So how I can do this, how I can be better. And the other oriented to the ego.
Другият тип мотивация е свързан с егото на даден играч.
If you are better than him, you will play.
Ще играеш, ако си по-добър от него.
You understand? If I want to be the best, I want to be better than him. So my motivation is to be better than him, better than the other teammates.
Да, другият тип е когато твоята мотивация си по-добър от другия.
So the regards of the coaches, the good positive reforce from the coach is when you are doing the things better than the other. If you win him, if you win the other, and other kind of motivation is if I give you positive things when you do a good skill, when you are working better, when you come every day to the practice, so two different ways.
Значи двете отново повтаряме. Единият тип е когато мотивацията е свързана с използването на умения, напредването като умения, а вторият тип е когато е свързан с това да си по-добър от другия.
So in my opinion, the first one is the perfect situation for the player. If you can transmit the player that working, he will enjoy, he will learn, that he comes to the practice because it's fun and not because it's an obligation, you are winning one player.
Да. За него по-добър е първият вариант, когато се набляга на напредъка, отколкото на съревнованието между двама играчи, защото по този начин дори играчът да е по-слаб от останалите, той ще има мотивация да идва на тренировка, просто защото ще му е забавно, защото знае, че от него се иска просто да напредва всеки ден.
Okay, so we talk about motivation, the first part. Our motivation doesn't exist. We need to prepare and think about situation to create motivation for our kids. We know that each kid has his own history in his world, when he wants to be, what is my personal goal. You have to detect this. But now, the second step are the emotions, are different than the motivation. How is the situation emotionally?
Да, това беше правилото на първата част от лекцията, която беше свързана с мотивацията и с това, че няма липса на мотивация, а че просто трябва да намерим причините даден играч да не е мотивиран.
So emotion has.
Това е втората част, която е свързана вече с емоцията.
First function is the emotional point is.
Има три функции на емоциите. Пак са емоционална, социална и мотивационна. Тя тук се смява, защото не съм професионален психолог, така че малко ще го обяснявам със свои думи.
When he comes, the player comes to the practice and you see his body, you see his expression. If he comes talking with one teammate or if he comes like this to the practice, his expression tells you what happened today with him.
Когато видите даден играч, че идва по определен начин до тренировки с наведена глава, вие знаете, че нещо не е наред с него.
So probably before exams, player will be worried.
Преди изпити, например,
so you need to know this.
И ние трябва да знаем тези неща.
Social, because everybody is going to see, or your teammates are going to see how are you.
И целият отбор, всички съотборници виждат това нещо, виждат, че даден играч не се чувства добре, че има нещо.
And also, your situation transmit or not motivation, positive motivation to your teammates. Your expression, your feeling, so to everybody how are you, and also can motivate other players.
Тоест, когато ти не се чувстваш, когато даден играч не се чувства добре, нещо не е в добро състояние, това влияе върху целия отбор и тяхната мотивация също.
So, like, motivation have two kinds. Internals.
Има два вида мотивация. Вътрешна.
All the situation inside the basket.
Това са всичките емоции, които усещаме от баскетбола.
And external. How the situation in your house, how the situation in a school, if you broke with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, your emotional situation changes.
Това са нещата, които се случват с нас извън баскетбола. Семейни, приятели и всякакви други неща, които се случват извън залата.
Again? Okay. So how we can manage the emotions? We need to know this word, stress.
Как можем да управляваме емоциите? Трябва да знаем, най-важното нещо е стрес.
We react to anything. Like people, we react to everything. How do you react?
И важно как реагираме. Сега само да уточня, че стрес на български е общо взето винаги го свързваме с нещо негативно. Но в случая той дели на два вида, като един е нещо като...
So with these ages, everything is a custom. Everything is one little thing they think is so big. So all the reacts are stress. Good stress or bad stress.
Добър стрес и лош стрес. Добрият стрес е нещо като вълнение, позитивно вълнение.
And you like coach has to know that the good stress is perfect. Game Saturday.
Добрият стрес е, вълнението е нещо позитивно.
Night before the game, they are nervous. It's a good stress. They are ready for this.
Вълнението преди матча, да искаш да играеш. Това е добър стрес.
You have to give push this to the players to give this nervous. This is not like game because I don't play. Like I don't play, I don't care. No, you have to try to put everybody active.
Трябва да се опитате да просто да мотивирате всички да им придадете това вълнение и усещане позитивно преди матч, например.
The distress is the worst one and happens in everything. For example, to me, I was explaining to me.
Да, това е второто. Частен лошия стрес.
Meeting in English, many coaches, with many girls, many boys, many people here. My English is not so good. I can't. No.
Най-лошият стрес е той при лекцията, ако си каже, има много хора, които ме гледат, аз не знам добре английски, не мога да се справя.
My good stress helps me to stay with you now. Nervous, they are gonna like or not, my English will be enough or not, the computer will work or not.
Да, ако се чуеш, няма дали ще работи компютър нещо, дали няма да се прецака нещо, да се сбърка.
And players, 1 free shot, 2 free shot. We lost the game because I missed the 2 free shots.
Да, и играч си мисли, стрелях 1 от 7, 2 от 7 и заради мен загубих матча.
Next game, one game 2 months later. The player has to remember here. You put him on the court, or he sits down on the bench. I don't want to play that minute. No.
Да, и когато това случи, след 2 месеца идва друг матч и той си мисли в главата също нещо, а не, аз сега не искам да играя, защото предния матч загубихме заради мен, понеже го кажа.
You put him on the court.
Това е лош стрес.
And he is like this.
И като го вкараш в игра и той не смее да
foul. I can't. It's one example. Yes. Your point guard injured, the guy from the from the under 16, you call him to play. I need you for next game. I can't.
Да, друг пример. Контузът ти сега на старша, викаш някой от кадетите да играе. Той казва, не мога, страх ме.
They are stronger than me. I'm worse than everybody. I can't.
Не съм достатъчно добър, не мога.
So, how you help?
Как може да помогне?
First,
да се справи в такава ситуация.
You have to know that he will be in bad stress.
Първо, ние като треньори трябва да знаем, да усещаме, че този играч би се чувствал така.
Because he never played with me, he doesn't know the team, he will be nervous.
Защото не е играл в този отбор, не познаваме, треньор не е играл и ще бъде под стрес.
How we can help? Hey, Juanjo, man, don't worry. Everything is going to be good. Your English is okay. Not perfect, but it's okay.
Да, както при него отивам и добре, казвам, всичко ще е наред. Английски ти е достатъчно добър, всичко ще мине, всичко ще е идеално.
Breath, hey, look my eyes. Look, don't worry, man.
Гледай ме, дишай, не се притеснявай, успокой се.
So, let's say deep respiration, help the players to make deep respiration in that situation of stress.
Значи в тази ситуация важно е дишането, например да кажете на играчите дишат дълбоко, да се успокоят, помага за намаляване на стреса.
Put him in his head positive thoughts.
Карайте в главата му позитивни мисли.
Don't try to be perfect, man. You are gonna have mistakes.
Кажете, обяснете му, че няма да е перфектен, че ще направи грешки, че това е нормално.
So you are the key to relax and to recover the player and pass from the distress that is blocked to the other.
Тоест ролята на треньора е ключова на това да направи така, че играча от едно състояние на стрес това да се промени в състояние на така, позитивно вълнение и да гледа позитивно.
So almost ending. How to motivate? How to help the players to be motivated?
Как да помогнем да мотивираме младите играчи?
You are like coaches, the key of this.
Треньорите са ключ за това, защото вие сте хората, които контактуват с играчи.
You can build or you can destroy. You can help or you can...
Може да помогнете, може да съсипете играчи.
So how you can create a motivational environment, positive on practice?
Как може да създадем позитивна обстановка, която да подобри мотивацията?
From the way that you present information to the player, how do you speak with them?
По начина, който предоставяме информацията.
Think that they are kids. They are kids. They are pro.
Че са деца.
How many coaches from pro came to the youth program and he doesn't understand how they listen, how the kids are ready to hear some words, some bad words, some no, how I have to speak, how I can transmit my message for kids. Essential.
Много е важно просто треньорите да разбират как да предадат информацията правилно на децата.
What kind of regards I give to the players?
Какви награди давам на играчите, когато направят нещо позитивно?
You have to, the bad things are their own penalties, but the good things, the good situations.
За лошите неща има някакво наказание, но за позитивните също трябва да има някаква награда.
What is your evaluation about the goals? That is very important. You want results or you want to improve the players? Като треньори трябва да определите каква е целта, дали да постигнете резултати или за вас по-важно е напредък, който постигате. If you want results, probably you are going to destroy the worst players of your team. Ако искате само резултати, ще навредите и ще съсипете на по-слабите играчи в отбора. If you want to improve, I'm sure that you will have better results. Obviously,
ако целта е напредък, ще постигнете по-добри резултати.
The pressure of your club, of your owners, of the bosses is true. That you have to control their kids.
Той разбира, че клуба ви поставя някакви цели, но вие трябва да имате предвид децата.
Each kid has his own expectations, always. His own thoughts.
Всяко дете има свои собствени очаквания и свои собствени мисли.
You have to try to put all these thoughts, and you know this, in the serve of the team, no on the serve of yourself.
Трябва да направите така, че неговите очаквания и това, което играч си представя, да бъде в полза на отбора, а не в полза на треньора.
How you structure your practice? My 5-star practice here and the others practice there.
Например, лош пример, ако структурирате тренировките си така, че 5 човека най-добрите са на единия кош, а 5 други по-слабите ги оставите на другия кош сами да се оправят.
So not sometimes the Friday evening, you have again Saturday, you practice with your 5-star with the other 5. 5-on-5, but with your 5-star.
Например, ако имате матч и играете петимата най-добри срещу петимата най-слаби.
So the other team in one point say, I don't want to, I'm not going to play tomorrow.
И така играчите знаят, значи аз утре няма да играя, защото съм ме вкарали в тази петица с слабите.
Some points, try to mix.
Опитайте се да ги смесите по някое време, за да постигнете по-добри резултати.
How you punish the mistakes. How one ball lose, the player always want to see you when they lose a ball. When they score,
когато някой от играчите сбърка по време на матча или от тренировка, какво ще направиш? Ще погледне треньора. И много важно как вие ще реагирате на грешката на играча. Дали ще...
If he's your important player, I'm agree with. But if the player that normally doesn't play with you too much, and he need to feel something, hey, next time. Okay?
Да, ако...
You have to manage.
Трябва да успяте да менажирате, примерно, ако някой по-слаб играч влезе в игрище и изпърка, да му покажете позитивно, други път ще се получи по-добре.
So, you need strategies to do all this. Remember that the player is not a pro player.
Това са, пак продължаваме, стратегии, по които може да подобрите.
If the player is progressing, is improving in his level, maybe it's the worst on the team, but he is doing good things before the press line like this now is like I want. Okay, tell him.
Трябва, за да подобрите мотивация на играчите, трябва да им казвате, когато са постигнали напредък. Тоест, ако дори най-слабият футбол, ако нещо е правил грешно, но дори най-малко нещо си го е подобрил, кажете му.
Each player has its own progress, always, or has to be like this. So you have to know which level has and which improvement are doing and promote.
Да, трябва всеки играч напредва индивидуално и вие трябва да знаете всеки играч какви слабости има и да забелязвате когато напредне и да му го казвате.
Realistic goals, realistic to the player can, if he does, he feel excellent.
Поставите реалистични цели на играчите, когато напредват. Значи трябва да им поставяте по-високи цели, но да са реалистични, за да може да ги постигне и той тогава ще се чувства добре.
Use reinforcements with voice and with body. Like we saw yes.
Значи не само с думи да казвате, когато направим нещо позитивно, но и с езика на тялото да показвате, че сте доволни, когато някой играч направи нещо хубаво.
So you control this and you help the players to be creative inside your practice. If you potence and you push them to be creative inside one rules, that's going to be a perfect environment in your practice, in my opinion.
За да не е точно тази ситуация, в която играчите се стремят да постигат навък напредък, е това, което създава добра обстановка на тренировки.
In that program, with 15, 14, 16 years, all you have to give, the more important thing is the learn process and the effort that the players do to try to be better than the results.
Да, значи при 14, 15, 16 годишни е по-важно прогреса и подобряването на умението, отколкото резултатите.
So make the evaluation thinking about how much you practice, how hard you practice, how many times you come to practice on the week, more than you are the best, you score 20 points or you take...
По-важно е какви усилия показваш на тренировки, колко старание, отколкото това, че си карал 20 точки на матча.
Be worried about all the players, not only about the good players.
Трябва да се интересуваме не само най-добрите си играчи, но всички, които са част от отбора.
Try to don't put many competition situations inside the practice to create a better atmosphere between all the players. It's good to compete, but it's also excellent to have a good relationship.
В тренировките се опитвайте упражненията да имат състезателен характер, за да може по този начин играчите да се опитват един друг съревновавайки се да напредват.
So yes, till the end, that one kind of conclusion. I'm going to try to put one video, but that would be difficult. I will try. Where it says that Bob Bigelow, for me, is one of the best coaches about motivational situation for the coach.
Това е заключението и той ще се опита да пусне едно видео, но За съжаление нямаме звук, така че после, когато и получите лекцията, ще може да видите.
Bob Bigelow.
Иска да пусне клипче на треньор Боб Бигелоу, който за него е един от най-добрите мотиватори.
The link is on the presentation you will have. But basically he says that we need to create situations where the players feel important inside the group. Maybe he is not the best scorer, he's taller, he's weak, but you tell him, okay, you are not the scorer, but you are the best rebounder of our team. I'm so happy with this. Your goal is this.
Основното послание на клип, който искаш да пусне, е, че всеки играч трябва да се чувства важен в отбора и че допринася с нещо за отбора.
Let me check if you can put it for the end. I will put it out and I will put this on the computer to see if we can listen.
Той ще се опита да пусне клипчето и микрофона на... така че се чува.
No, doesn't work. No voice.
Да, няма да се случи с...
So much.
Но да, явно това видео е за това как да мотивираме не най-добрите играчи. Тези, които не са ни звездите в отбора.
Okay. Well, the conclusions
на български заключения.
are in Bulgaria, but probably so far from there to you can.
Ако може да ви...
Well,
ще ги прочета.
To the end, the conclusion are, if you believe what I told you about that unmotivation doesn't exist, and I believe at 200% of this, you will try to find and understand, to try to find the player, to try to know in which period of the year are his emotions.
Да, пак за обобщение, да кажем неговото вярване, че за него няма липса на мотивация, а че ние просто като треньори трябва да открием какво кара даден играч да не бъде мотивиран.
You have to know which situations can affect in the situation, emotion and
трябва да знаем кои ситуации влияят на даден играч и да познаваме по изражението му дали нещо.
So you know which situation can put down the level of motivation. You have to know, you have to have tools, weapons to react about on this situation.
Когато даден играч видите, че не е мотивиран, вие трябва да имате умения и оръжия, с които да може да правите така, че да обърнете тази ситуация и той отново да стане мотивиран.
You are outside of the direction of the group if you are not the head coach, if you are the assistant coach. Your job also is to try that your head coach, his emotional situation will be, and his motivation, her motivation will be in the perfect line to after he can transmit this to the kids. You are the coach, you have to be ready mentally, emotionally, and motivationally to help the players. If not, we are in bad situation.
Значи, като треньори, вие трябва да сте готови да помогнете на играчите с тяхната психика, за да се справят те после на игрището.
Each player are different.
Всеки играч е различен.
So, if you keep that your group will be motivated, it's an exit for you because the players in some degrees will be motivated. So it's like one group motivated help helps that somebody to other players that somebody is not too much motivated. If the group, the feeling of the group is good, is motivated, if you come to the practice like this, in one point you will be like them.
Тоест, много е важно като треньори да направите така, че обстановката по време на тренировките е позитивна, като цяло отбора да се чувства една мотивация да постигне целите си и в такива ситуации, дори когато дойде някой играч, който нещо не се чувства добре, че е по-лесно за него да се справи с този проблем и да се мотивира.
You have to detect the situation of stress. You know that the period during the year with exams, with a lot of pressure outside of basketball, if you know these periods, you can help the player to put bad threat, to put the stress in your profit.
Да, трябва да разбирате, когато играч има проблеми извън терена, неща външни от баскетбола, и ако вие знаете за тези неща, ще ви е по-лесно да превърнете този стрес в позитивна енергия.
And for them, the player has to believe on you.
Играч, като за финал играч трябва да вярва в вас като треньор.
The player believe in you, everything will be easy. But for that, he need to know that you are with him in the good moments and in the bad moments.
Значи, ако треньора, ако играча ви вярва, тогава всичко ще е лесно, но за той да повярва, трябва той да знае, че вие ще сте с него и в добрите, и в лошите моменти.
With young program, with young kids, one of the situations harder for them are when they are injured.
Една от трудностите при младите играчи е на най-сложната ситуация, когато има контузия.
For my experience, my advice, try to involve him in every single situation that you can, and his injury allow him to be part of the group.
Неговия съвет е, когато имате контузен играч, да направите всичко възможно той да участва в треньора, да бъде част от отбора, да участва в тренировъчен процес, независимо от това каква му е контузията, доколкото каквото му позволява всичко да го прави заедно с отбора.
Why? Because you know, everybody knows, or the rule is like this, there are two recuperations. The physical recuperation, for example, one knee, and after the mentality recuperation. If you can work this during the period of the injury.
Да, знам, че когато се контузни има два аспекта, един е физически, другия е психологически, и когато някой има физическа травма, вие през това време може да работите върху неговото психологическо състояние.
He has to be involved with the group, because when you are injured, you always feel that you are on one side of the group.
Когато си контузен, трябва да останеш с групата, защото т.е. треньорът трябва да прави така, че играчът да остане като част от отбора, защото в противен случай той се чувства се едно е страничен, вече не е част от колектива.
And at the end, your successful will be the successful of all the kids, of all the groups. If the kids want to keep going practicing with you, they saw you on the street and say, "Hey coach," they saw you 20 years later that you were his coach, and he tell you, "Hey, it was amazing." Is your success? This is your
Вашия успех се измерва в това играчите да са ви благодарни след време за това, което сте направили за тях.
Not win the tournament, not win, that is a good option, but for you with kids, for me, in my opinion, the more important successful when you feel like, wow, then when you see the father or the kid 10 years later and say, hey, you were amazing with me, help, thank you.
Да, спечелването на медали на титли е хубаво, но много по-стойностно е това след време да дойде родител и да каже благодаря ти за това, което направи с сина ми и дъщеря ми.
Remember, they are kids, they have many emotional situations during the year.
Не, че работите с деца и те имат много променливо психологическо състояние.
If you are ready for this, if you have your tools, your strategies, and your capacity is okay, more than a coach that will help them to learn, you will be a coach that you will learn him to be person, to be sport people, and to grow.
Ако знаете тези неща, ако имате уменията да се справите с това, да мотивирате хората и да им давате нещата, които децата искат, ще им помогнете не само да са добри баскетболисти, но и се изградат като личност.
For me, nothing else. I know it was a difficult time, but it's hungry, probably. Maybe too much words for my side. I will give all of this to the organization if somebody wants.
Предостави лекцията, който искаше може да я получи.
I'm until Monday in Tosa Hotel. They have my contact.
Той е понеделник, така че ако някой иска да се свърже с него да поговори за това нещо, няма проблем, да вземе номера, да говоря.
Thanks a lot for your attention. And have a good day.
Ако някой има някакви въпроси или нещо иска да знае.
Perfect.
Благодаря.